to the 2026 Memorial Basketball Game. First of all, thank you. I know the weather hasn't been the greatest, but it's spectacular that we're all here tonight to enjoy some friendly but competitive basketball. 37 years ago, the memorial was established by Paul Halligan, who was at the time a football and basketball coach at REGI. Paul created the memorial for the two schools, Holy Cross and REGI, to come together in competition while raising money and awareness for cancer research. Paul founded the games in honor of his friend Peter Carty, who was a friend and classmate, and he had passed away from a rare form of cancer at the age of 23. 13 years later, Paul Halligan was taken by the same cancer that took his friend a year prior. Both men dedicated time to help out within the school communities, and the memorial is a tribute to both of them. Thank you so much for attending and supporting the fight against cancer. To this date, you guys are going to be very impressed with this. This event has raised over $460,000. And the bonus with this money is it all stays local. It's donated to research and treatment locally and supporting families that have been affected by cancer. Much has been done in this battle, but we must continue the fight. So thank you again for being here. So I'm going to announce the players lineup starting with REGI. So as you come out, if you guys want to line up on the red line, that would be spectacular. Number 2, Josh Romero Brown. Number 3, Wesley Malanga. Number 4, Ty Bell Snyder. Number 5, Kobe Yonik Mundacruz. Number 7, Will Muhammad Abraham. Number 10, Cruz Barahona Jacob. Number 11, Zuber Isaac. Number 12, Alex McFarlane Rufo. Number 20, Callum McDonald. Number 22, God's Power Onyejide. Number 24, Liam McCloy. And number 25, Logan Downs. The coaches are Rob Bessling and Mary Bessling. All right, now for your Holy Cross Crusaders. Number 0, Cash Cameron. Number 1, Ziggy Lewis. Number 3, Ethan Lane. Number 5, Ryder Janenko. Number 7, Alex Castro. Number 9, Sawyer Campbell. Number 10, Chase Redmond. Number 11, Evan Daniel. Number 13, Henry Park. Number 14, Drew Spritas. Number 21, Braylon Mark. Number 24, Thomas Armstrong. Number 30, Colton Jodwin. Number 35, Stephen Sloss.
Number 8, Ashton Hunter.
Sorry?
Number 8, Ashton Hunter.
Number 8, Ashton Hunter. Coach Adam Jeffries and Trevor Weir. And our coaches tonight are Al and Norm. We are going to be led in prayer by Nick Cotman.
Good evening, everyone. I would invite you to stand if you're able as we begin our evening with prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Loving God, we thank you for gathering us today in a spirit of remembrance and hope. May the games before us strengthen our commitment to teamwork and respect for one another, both on and off the court. Bring your peace and comfort, O Lord, to all those who have been affected by cancer in any way. We pray that the funds raised this evening may be fruitful in supporting those in our community who are battling cancer. May our efforts honor the lives and inspiration of Peter Carty and Paul Halligan. By your Holy Spirit, be with the athletes, coaches, fans, and all who have made this evening possible through their time and generosity. May this memorial strengthen our bonds as one community of faith. We ask all of this through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
If you could please remain standing. We have Lily Foyers that is going to sing the national anthem.
Can I just clip this on my shirt?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Or you can hold it.
Can I hold it like here? Oh.
hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, let's play some basketball. Just be careful, because I'm gonna, I don't know, put it on the ground, I guess.
All right, folks, if you're just tuning in on the live stream, welcome to Holy Cross Catholic Secondary School and the Joe Duffy Gymnasium. You are in for a real treat here tonight. This is the 2026 edition of the Memorial Game. The teams are both just about to take the court. Holy Cross Saints are hosting tonight this evening. For those of you who don't remember, last year's edition of the Memorial Game was a real nail-biter. REGI won late in the fourth quarter, coming back from a few points down. TJ Mayuga hit a late three-pointer to put the REGI Albus Notre Dame Panthers ahead by 2 and eventually win the game. So this is a little bit of a redemption match for Coach Trevor Weir and Adam Jeffries and the Holy Cross Saints. And we are in for a real treat here tonight as we prepare for the tip. And ball's up, and first to come away with it here is REGI. That is number 22, God's Power, with the ball. Looking for Ty Bell Snyder cutting backdoor early. That one just a little bit ahead of Ty, out of bounds. Here's Holy Cross inbounding on the end line. REGI starting the game off in a full court press. And that was Cash Cameron throwing the ball long and intercepted by the Panthers. Here's God's Power with it. Over to number 25, that's Logan Downs. Back to God's Power. Here's Ty Bell Snyder driving right side. Through the contact, Ty Bell Snyder finishes strong at the rim, and REGI is first on the board here tonight. Here's Holy Cross getting the ball in quickly to break that REGI press. That was number 24, Thomas Armstrong, over to Evan Daniel for 3. And we are off to a hot start here in this one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. There's Downs. Over to Monda Cruz, back to Bell Snyder driving right side. High off the glass, and Bell Snyder gets that one to fall. Score 4-2. That's number 11, Evan Daniel with the ball. Point guard duties here tonight for the Saints. Over to the wing, that was 24, Thomas Armstrong. Moving it to the other wing, that's Ryder Jernenko. His pass into the corner, looking once again for Evan Daniel. Just off his outstretched fingertip, out of bounds. Holy Cross starting the game off, half-court defense. Here's Downs with the ball for the Panthers, calling the offense. Monda Cruz. Left-handed finish, and that's good. Count the basket. That was number 3, Wesley Malenga. Going hard to the rim and finishing with the left hand. Some poise from the grade 9 Wesley Malenga, finishing strong at the rim. He'll step to the line for 1 free throw. And Malenga's good from the line, giving REGI a 4-point lead here in the early going. Ryder Jernenko looking long, that's number 14. He's Faridas, and he's blocked and met at the rim by God's Power. God's power brings it across the half-court line. Here's Logan down with it. Right-handed drive, blow by. Lots of contact there on that one. No call. Malenga underneath the basket for the Panthers. 3 rebounds for Malenga. And finally, referee Al Benton gives Malenga the call. This has been quite the flurry of activity here in the first 2 minutes of the game. And with that, Coach Trevor Weir and his Saints falling behind by 4 in the early going in this one. He calls a timeout, wanting to talk some things over with his boys. And if you're REGI right now, you couldn't have asked for a better start. Yeah, if you're REGI right now, you couldn't have asked for a better start. Coming out strong, trying to put some pressure on the Saints in your full court press, and it worked, forcing 2 turnovers in the early going. Coach Bessling definitely talking that over with her players. You wonder if out of this timeout, if they'll take the foot off the gas a little bit and come out in a half-court defense, or if they'll keep the pressure and keep the pedal to the metal and continue to pressure some bad inbounds passes from the Saints. Wesley Malenga at the line. He makes good on his first free throw, his second free throw of the night. 2 for 2 so far. And Malenga stays perfect at the line here. That's Cash Cameron inbounding to 24 Thomas Armstrong. Here's Evan Daniel with it for the Saints. Moves it over to the wing. That's Ryder Janenko. Back to Armstrong. Armstrong looking at the ball in the corner to Evan Daniel. Evan Daniel seems to be coming off a lot of these low screens. He finds number 5. That's Jernenko's 3 is just a little off the mark. That ball's out of bounds, but it's going to stay with the Holy Cross Saints. And you've got a substitution on the floor for the Panthers. That's number 10, Cruz Barahona Jacobs, entering the game for the first time. Ball goes in low to Cash Cameron. Can't finish there with the left hand underneath the net. Malenga comes away with it, bringing the ball up, pushing the pace now for the Panthers. Right-handed drive. Malenga gets that one to go. A beautiful finish from Malenga. Score sits 11-3 in favor of the Panthers. 5 minutes 33 on the clock here in the first quarter. Holy Cross opting to move the ball around on the perimeter. Having a hard time getting inside. Ty Bell Snyder playing some tough defense on Armstrong. And it just goes to show some good hard defense making life difficult on the offensive end for Holy Cross here in the early going. As that's 2 or 3 shots now for the Saints that have just been a little bit off the mark through some really tough defense by the Panthers. Here's Armstrong the inbound. He goes inside once again looking for Cameron. Off of Barahona Cadet's fingertip out of bounds. 14 seconds on the shot clock here. Daniel to inbound on the end line. Ball comes in high to the top of the key. That's Jernenko. Defended by Kobe Mundacruz. And referee Al Benton calls a foul on Mundacruz there on the perimeter. Mundacruz just getting a little bit too handsy there. Called for the reaching foul. This is Jernenko to inbound. Ball goes in low to Armstrong. Back to Daniels. Daniels with it now. Over to Jernenko. And well defended there by Barahona Cadet. And that seems to be the storyline and the difference so far in the first quarter here, is that Holy Cross ball handlers having a little bit of a difficult time with some on-ball pressure from the Panthers. There's Barahona Cadet inside to Mundacruz. Just off the mark. Holy Cross with the rebound. Back to Daniel. Over to Armstrong, looking inside for Cameron, but well defended by Malenga down low. Drive from Jernenko. He puts the shot up with the left. Rebounds his own shot. Looks to get a quick shot up. Malenga with the rebound, pushing the pace once again. Malenga eyeing up a three. Front iron there. And Daniel with it now for the Saints. Crossover on Mundacruz. Mundacruz stays in front. There's Daniels, Armstrong. Ball stolen away by Tybell Snyder. He's going coast to coast. Left-handed finish is good. And REGI is opening up their biggest lead of the game here in the early going. Score sits 13-3 in favor of the Panthers. Let's see if Holy Cross can get some offense going here as they get into their offensive play set. And that one, once again, stolen away by Tybell Snyder with a heads-up play. Just as his body weight was taking him out of bounds, he throws it back at the lower body of the Holy Cross defender and gets the ball back for the Panthers. Very heads-up play by Tybell Snyder. And this will be a REGI ball in their backcourt. Into the game now for the Panthers. That's number 7, Wael Mohammed Ibrahim. And also back into the game for the Panthers, that's number 25, Logan Down. Pardon me, Logan Downs. Downs with it. 2 guards high here for the Panthers. Logan Downs spins out of it. And we got a foul called on the play. Waiting to see who this one goes against. And it looks like that'll go against Logan Downs. So this will be a Holy Cross inbound in their backcourt. Panthers, Coach Bestling telling her team to come out in a full court press once again. Malenga on the ball. Ibrahim defending Daniels, trying to force him to one side. Henry Park over to Raylan Mark. Once again, looking for Evan Daniels low in the corner, coming off those picks underneath the basket, moving him into the wing spot. And that's 2 or 3 times now for the Saints that they've tried to get the ball into Daniel deep in the corner for presumably a 3-point shot that has gone off his fingertips, or the pass has been a little bit off the mark, out of bounds. Here's Wael. Here's Barahona Cadet. Kicks it back out to Wael. Wael driving right side. Takes a look at the rim. Kicks it out to God's Power. God's Power puts up a 3. Just off the back iron there. A little bit strong. Here's Cash Cameron looking to rebound and go coast to coast. And he's met at the rim by 2 Panthers. That was Wesley Malenga and Anya Jide, God's Power Anya Jide, meeting him at the rim. Both teams definitely bringing some good intensity here in the early going of this one. 3 minutes on the clock here in the first. Cash Cameron hits his first from the free throw line. Second off the mark, but Anya Jude comes down with it. Moving the ball up to Bell Snyder for a transition 3. The miss followed up by Anya Jude, his follow-up off the mark. Here's Daniels with it. Trusted ball handler for the Saints. Some stiff and stout on-ball defense by Wael. Bell Snyder, a little bit of an ill-advised reach there. A good drive. That was number 13 for the Saints. That's Henry Park. And this is going to be a Holy Cross Saints inbound on the end line. 14 seconds on the clock in the front court here. Evan Daniels to inbound. Daniels looking to get the ball inside down low. Intended target was number 14, Drew Spirides. Ball ends up off of a Panther shin out of bounds. It'll still be Holy Cross ball, except the inbound will move a little bit closer to the corner here. That's number 21, Braylon Mark. His 3-pointer's off the mark, but followed up well. There's Henry Park with the rebound. Ball goes once again to Evan Daniel. Clock winding down. Braylon Mark's shot, a little bit strong. Malenga once again pushing the pace. Here he is, right side, turns around, finds Ibrahim Mohammed. Evan Daniel with a beautiful pass down low. And the kick goes out to Drew Spirides, but once again, his shot a little bit strong here in the early going. Malenga puts up a three. Well rebounded down low. Good fight down low for the Panthers. Here's Bell Snyder with a three-pointer off the mark. Daniel for the Saints looking to get into the offense. Defended by Mohamed Ibrahim. Ty Bell Snyder. Here's Evan Daniel, puts up a three. Rebounded, ball stays down low. They get it to Cash Cameron, and the Saints are able to finish that one off. And so far in the early going here, folks, it looks like the Saints have been most productive when they've been able to get the ball down low to Cash Cameron inside. He has been a load to deal with for REGI in the early going here. And he's done a great job on the offensive glass and the defensive glass so far. Score stands 13-6 in favor of the Panthers. 1 minute, 21 seconds to go on the clock here. This will be REGI inbound coming out of the timeout. Barahona Cadet gets it to Munda Cruz. REGI setting up too high. High pick and roll between Malenga and Munda Cruz, and Malenga not able to get his feet set and get to the spot in time to set a good screen. He's called for the offensive foul, illegal screen. Coach Besselink will bring him out of the game and bring in Anya Jide. Evan Daniel met by Munda Cruz at half court. Daniel goes to the right side. Intended pass for Sawyer Campbell. And just couldn't quite squeeze that one as it slips out of bounds. This will be REGI ball on the sideline. Here's Munda Cruz. High pick and roll with Anya Jide. Well defended by number 21, Braylon Mark, on the ball there. REGI looking to go high pick and roll here off of that too high set early. It hasn't been productive the last two times out, as the screen was a little bit early from Malenga, and he was called for the offensive foul. And then on-ball defense was very stout, forcing the turnover on Munda Cruz there. And we got a foul called on the play here. This will be called against number 5, Munda Cruz. And with that, it looks like Holy Cross is now in the bonus. So Evan Daniel will step to the line for 2 shots. Daniel's first, a little off the mark. Second, and that cuts into the lead a little bit here for the Saints as they now trail the Panthers by 6. Sideline inbound, that's number 21, Braylon Mark, to inbound in the front court for the Saints. And quick whistle there. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Ball goes into Daniel, met by Barahona Cadet. REGI continuing to apply pressure on the ball handler. Ball goes over to Mark. Mark gets down low to be blocked. His shot long. Followed up by 14, Drew Spirides. And Drew Spirides gets his shot off just as the shot clock was expiring, but unfortunately doesn't hit the rim. And REGI comes away with it. Here's Logan Downs. Over to Mohamed Ibrahim. Barahona Cadet kicks it to Anya Jide. Anya Jide over to Logan Downs, right side drive. He gets the finish. And REGI has been able to attack into the paint pretty easily here so far in the early going. There hasn't been much help defense down low from the Saints. And with that, we've got a foul on the ball. That's Wael Ibrahim Mohammed. He gets called for it. And the stiff and stout on-ball pressure from the Panthers was extremely effective in the early going. However, they've started to rack up some fouls, and with that, this is now the second opportunity from the line in the bonus for the Holy Cross Saints, and they've been able to cut into the lead here a little bit just by making a few of these shots from the free throw line. That's number 9, Sawyer Campbell. He makes good on his first. Second off the mark, but there's Cash Cameron down low with the rebound. Can't squeeze it. Ibrahim has it. And a little bit of a scramble as the loose ball couldn't quite get corralled by the Panthers. No one able to get a shot off there at the end of the first quarter. But really a wonderful start to this game here in the early going. At the end of the first quarter, the score is 8-15 in favor of the Panthers. And we've seen some really exciting high-energy basketball at the junior level here in the first quarter. REGI coming out really strong so far with a full court press that gave Holy Cross some difficulty, forcing some turnovers early and getting out to an early lead. But Holy Cross seemed to settle it down a little bit there later in the first quarter, force REGI into a little bit of foul trouble, and then cut into that REGI lead a little bit from the free throw line. We'll see what happens. We'll see if REGI is able to continue this pressure in the second quarter here, as that full court press is definitely going to be a little bit exhausting for the Panthers. And we'll see how long Holy Cross can hold on against that pressure. And here we go. We'll have REGI to inbound the ball to start the second quarter. The ball goes into the top of the key. That's Dodge Power finding a cutting Tybell Snyder. Beautifully designed inbounds play by Coach Besselink on that one. And here's Logan Downs applying some stout pressure on the ball handler. That's number 8, Ashton Hunter, into the game for the Saints. But Barahona Cadet steals it away for the Panthers. He's going strong the other way. And Barahona Cadet dips his shoulder into the Saints defender down low, and it looked like the Saints defender was there early. Could have been a charge call. My guess there is that the Saints defender was a little bit too low under the basket, unable to take the charge there, and that'll send Barahona Cadet to the line. Off the mark left on that one for Barahona Cadet. second was up and off the mark. Once again, here is number 8, Ashton Hunter, with the ball handling duties now, giving Evan Daniel a reprieve at the point guard spot. Ball goes inside down low. That's Drew Spirides, and he gets tied up by the REGI defense, forcing a jump ball. Possession arrow will remain with the Holy Cross Saints. Inbounding on the end line here, line formation from the Saints. Ball looking to get the ball into zero. Cash Cameron down low. Tybell Snyder for 3. He hits it. Score now sits 20-8 for the Panthers. 12-point lead, their largest of the game. And that, once again, is where that tough on-ball defense by the Panthers is proving to be the difference maker, as a carrying violation is called against number 8, Ashton Hunter, as he's being met at three-quarter court with some tough REGI defense. Logan Downs looking inside to Anya Gide. Anya Gide comes down with it, but he's met with a flurry of defenders from the Saints. Here's Cash Cameron looking to bring the ball up himself and go coast to coast. He kicks the ball off. That's Spirides, number 14, on the finish. Beautiful job by Cash Cameron. Seems to be doing a little bit of everything here in the first half for the Saints. Rebounding, going coast to coast, kicking the ball out, finding the open man. Here's Tybell Snyder. Can he go 2 for 2? Just off the mark from the 3-point line. Logan down, picking the pocket of Campbell there, but unable to finish. Cameron comes away with it, gets the ball over to Hunter. Arizona Cadet throwing his body on the line, getting the ball to Logan Downs. And Logan Down finding a cutting Tybell Snyder, but that basket gets waved off as the foul occurred on the pass. So this will be a REGI inbound on the end line, and it looks like we'll have some subs into the game here for the Saints. Coach Trevor Weir opting to bring in starting point guard number 11, Evan Daniel, as well as returning to the game number 21, Braylon Mark, and that's number 30, Colton Jodoin, entering the game here for the Saints. Cross-court screen. Coming down the middle of the lane, that was Anya Gide on the inbound, kicks it back out to Darahona Cadet, and his 3-pointer just off the mark. There's Evan Daniel looking to push the pace now for the Saints a little bit. And we had some contact down low there from number 21, Braylon Mark. No call on the play. Here's Logan Downs, met by Evan Daniel. REGI looking to really spread their positions on the floor here. A little bit of a 5-out offense. Ball goes back in, down low to Logan Downs. Rebound followed up by Mohamed Ibrahim, but his shot a little bit weak there on that one. Evan Daniel once again being forced to work for it here just to get the ball across the half-court line. That's 21, Braylon Mark with it. Over to Armstrong, back to Daniel. Daniel calling for high pick and roll with Cameron, but decides to drive left, and Cameron was coming up right side with the screen. And if you're Holy Cross here, you trail by 10 here in the second quarter. It's not the largest deficit that you faced all night, so you're not in a terrible spot. But so far, your success has come from getting the ball into Cash Cameron down low and finding creative ways of getting the ball to him. It looks like Coach Trevor Weir has a few inbounds down low to get the ball into Cameron. That's been their number one option so far. Let's see if they have some other ways of getting the ball to Cash Cameron so he can operate down low against some of these REGI big men. Braylon Mark inbounding for the Saints. Mark just getting the pass off before falling inbounds. Mark defended by Mohamed Ibrahim. There's Anya Gide making Cash Cameron's life difficult there for a moment. Tybell Snyder driving left, going the other way. Pump fake, step through. Not quite able to finish that one for Tybell Snyder, but a beautiful step through down low. And Ibrahim Mohammed gets his hand to the ball and just forces it to roll off of a Holy Cross defender's thigh. Regi inbounding, looking inside to Bell Snyder. Kicks it out to Ibrahim. Deep three from Mohammed Ibrahim. Bell Snyder on the follow-up. Here's God's power. His shot, little strong, off the mark. Evan Daniel with it for the Saints. Net by Barahona Cadet. Mark with it for the Saints. Over to Daniel on the wing. Inside to Cash Cameron. Cameron drives left, step through. A little bit strong. Cameron down low. He's met at the rim by Mohammed Ibrahim. And a good strong effort by Cash Cameron. He'll head to the line for 2 shots here. Looking to see if he can cut into this Regiopolis Notre Dame lead. And with that, Coach Bestlink will bring into the game number 3 Wesley Malenga, who was a terror down low in the early going for the Panthers. Really something to watch here in the first half has been the matchup down low has been where all the action is. Cash Cameron, the number 1 offensive threat so far for the Saints. Going up against just a litany of tough defense down low from Malenga and Anya Gide for the Panthers. Cameron makes good on his second from the line, cutting that Regi lead to 9 points. Here's Ibrahim Mohammed over to Malenga. Bell Snyder with it on the wing. Finds Malenga at the top of the key. He puts one up off the mark. Cameron with the rebound, finds Daniel. Daniel Armstrong over to Mark. Here's Daniel once again. Cash Cameron with it, driving left. And Josh Romero throws his body on the line to steal that one away. And coming from behind, that was Mark tipping the ball away from Mohammed Ibrahim. So this one will stay with the Panthers on the end line. We'll see what Coach Bestlink has drawn up for the inbound play here as our Panthers lead by 9. 3 minutes, 46 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Inbound to Tybell Snyder. It looked like number 24 Armstrong wasn't quite paying attention on defense there. And here's Daniel with it. Looking for Mark. And a travel called on the play. This will be Regi inbounding on the sideline here. 3 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the second quarter. That's Thomas Armstrong coming out of the game for a quick breather. Entering the game now for the Saints, so that's number 1, Ziggy Lewis. Josh Romero-Brown with it, short corner. Looking to get that ball out to Barahona Cadet. Ball last touched by the Saints. Here's Barahona Cadet inbounding. Gets the ball to the top of the key. Bell Snyder with it. Driving right, backing down Ziggy Lewis. Spin move. Bell Snyder with the finish, and he's pumped up after that play there. As he gets that Regi lead back up to double digits here. Here's Bell Snyder looking to make it a 3-point play. (23-11) for the Panthers. Panthers still opting here, right at the end of the quarter, to come out in that full court press. Ball stolen away out of Ziggy Lewis's hands by Malenga. He finds a cutting Romero-Brown. And Romero-Brown also fouled there. And right now you're looking a little bit disjointed here for the Saints. The lead is getting extended. It's about 12 points back to the biggest it's been so far in this game. Foul situation in the second quarter is flipped from what it was in the first quarter, with the Panthers being in foul trouble in the last quarter. Right now, foul situation stands at 4 fouls for the Saints in this quarter and just 1 for the Panthers. There's Romero Brown at the line for the Panthers. Too strong off the back iron. Ziggy Lewis with the rebound. Finds Daniel. Daniel looking for Mark. Waves him off. Goes to the right side. Here's Jodwin. Back to Mark. Down low once again to Daniel. And that's been that pass deep into the corner to Daniel has been the result of at least 4 turnovers here in the first half for the Saints. Just getting a little bit too far down against the Panther defense and then stuck in that corner, leading to turnovers. Daniel puts up a 3. Off the mark and out of bounds. Last touch by the Saints. This one will go to the Panthers. Two minutes, 27 seconds, second quarter. REGI leading 24-11. Barahona Cadet heading to the bench for a breather. Bell Snyder to inbound. Holy Cross off in a half-court defense. Logan Downs with it for the Panthers. Looking left. Ball goes into the corner. Romero Brown kicks it back out to Bell Snyder. Ziggy Lewis sitting a little far off. Bell Snyder decides he'll shoot that one if you give him that much space. Here's Evan Daniel, once again met by some stout defense by the Panthers. Romero Brown working his feet. Here's Evan Daniel. Daniel, step back, 3. He finds the back iron. Malenga with the rebound. Malenga consistently pushing the pace for the Panthers. Behind the back, finds Anya Gide. There's Logan Downs. Malenga, spin move in the lane. Through the contact, can't get that one to go, but followed up here by Bell Snyder. And his shot also off the mark. Here's Daniel, looking long up court for Jernenko. Jernenko, left hand, high off the glass in front of Anya Gide, and he gets that one to fall. Beautiful finish by Jernenko. REGI leads in this one, 24-13, 1 minute, 16 to go here in the second quarter. Romero Brown drives left, out to Downs. Downs operating. And he is met by the Holy Cross Saints D, and that one out of bounds. This one will go back to the Panthers on the baseline. 6 seconds on the shot clock here. Bell Snyder inbounding. Malenga coming off the high screen. Malenga looking to spin once again. Has his pocket picked by Jernenko, and that's number 14 on the fast break. Bruce Barides with the right-handed finish. Holy Cross making a little bit of a push here at the end of the second quarter, trying to cut into that REGI lead. Here's Anya Gide. Anya Gide can't finish that one at the rim on the right side. Daniel puts up a floater off the mark. Cash Cameron and Logan Downs get tied up down low. Terrific effort all around here in this one. Both teams continuing to fight to start this game. You can see how excited both teams were for this game. And with that, timeout there on the court. You have what was probably the best minute and a half to 2 minutes of this game so far for the Holy Cross Saints. Highest energy, forcing turnovers, rebounding the ball well, and then getting out in the fast break and finishing a couple times at the rim. If you're the Panthers, you wonder if the lead led you to get a little bit complacent there, or if maybe the full court press is starting to get into the Panthers' legs and tire them out a little bit. 38 seconds left on the clock here in this one in the first half. Score sits 24-15. Panthers leading by 9. Panthers inbounding. Here's Tybell Snyder bringing the ball up the court. He's met by Armstrong for the Saints. Finds Malenga on the wing. Malenga given some space there. He opts to take a short jumper from the free throw line, but it's off the mark. Ball gets back into the hands of Daniel. Trusted point guard for the Saints. His crossover. Daniel doing a nice job of breaking a little bit of that pressure from the Panthers. Got a foul called on the play, so this will move the inbound down to the end line for the Saints. Ball comes into Jernenko. Jernenko drives left hand, puts up a high shot off the glass. Cameron can't corral it, and here come the Panthers the other way. And Logan Downs and Josh Romero-Brown can't corral that one. And with 4.5 seconds left on the clock here in the first half, this will be Holy Cross to inbound. Cameron finds Daniel. Met at half court by Romero-Brown. Romero-Brown does a great job of stealing that one away, preventing Holy Cross from getting a shot off to end the half. Folks, at halftime here, the score sits at 24-15 for the Regiopolis Notre Dame Panthers. Grab a drink, grab some water. We will see you back here again in a few minutes, 10 minutes to be exact, for the start of the second half.
it's totally fine.
It's got a live mic.
Just trying to get rooms.
They have to be able to see you from their Now you got me. Yeah, you did.
I did? Yeah, actually. There we go.
Oh my, how do I get out of here? Why did I? Oh my god. How'd you get in there? That's my man.
And it was like
It's great. They got it half off. How's work? You guys both like it? Yeah, that was really good. Oh, okay. Yeah. So she has to say
the ultimate now it's named it.
I don't do names on my
Welcome back here for the start of the second half of this 2026 edition of the Memorial Game between the REGI Panthers and the Holy Cross Saints. Score at the half, 24-15. Ball stolen away on the inbound by Barahona Cadet. And Daniels meets him at the rim for some, to make his life a little bit difficult there. This will be Panthers inbound on the end line now. Definitely not the start you were hoping for the Holy Cross Saints. Ball goes inside. That's Onyejide handling it. Kicks it out to Malenga. Malenga spinning in the middle of the lane. Turns around, kicks it back out. Panthers working the ball around the perimeter. Mundercruz driving right. Sorry, that's Barahona Cadet. Ball off of the outstretched arm of one of the Holy Cross Saints. This will be an end line inbound here for Barahona Cadet and the Panthers. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Ball goes to the wing. That's Logan Downs. Worked around. Here's Mundercruz. He gets a shot off at the last second with an expiring shot clock. Can't get it to fall. Here is Evan Daniel. That was Henry Park with the ball for the Saints. And foul called on that play there against number 10, Barahona Cadet. Sorry, correction, that was the call against number 11, Evan Daniel. Barahona Cadet looking to find a cutting Logan Downs down low. Cash Cameron with the ball going the other way. He can't get his layup to go. So here's Malenga with it now for the Panthers. Over to Barahona Cadet. Now to Onyejide. Logan Downs operating top of the key. Picks up his dribble. Defended by Marks. Sorry, Spirides. Holy Cross looking to push the pace a little bit there on that one. Intended pass for number 13, Henry Park. Yeah. goes out of bounds. Here is Obi Mundacruz with it. High pick and roll with Onyejide. Spins out, finds Malenga in the corner for three. And Malenga gets that three to fall. Panthers leading by 12. Cross-court pass by the Saints goes out of bounds. REGI will inbound the ball in their backcourt. Coach Trevor Weir bringing into the game number 30. That's Colton Jodoin. Mundacruz right-handed drive. Can't get it to go. Follow up by Onyejide, also a little bit strong. And here is Jodoin for the Saints. Jodoin driving right, met by Logan Downs, and he's going to get called for a block call there. As Coach Rob Bessling comes off the fence and just lets Logan Downs know that he's in a good spot. He just needs to set his feet and take the charge, and he would have made the most of that play. And line inbound, Daniels. Gets it to Jodoin. Back to Daniels on the pin down screen. And Jodoin comes away with the rebound, but Logan Downs gets a hand on the forearm. He's called for the foul. That's two quick ones to start the third quarter here for Logan Downs. And with that, Coach Bestlink brings Ty Bell Snyder back into the game, and Logan Downs will take a quick breather. Daniels to inbound for the Saints, down low. Having a hard time finding somebody. Gets the ball through Ty Bell Snyder's legs. Inbound to Spirides. And a little bit of a flurry down low. Neither team able to quite grab that one. Looks like that ball was last touched by Malenga out of bounds. The Holy Cross ball on the end line. And folks, if you're watching at home, you might not be able to see it, but the crowd here, the gymnasium is absolutely packed with stands from both teams. With fans from both teams, rather. Here's Barahona Cadet with the ball, and he gets thrown to the floor. Mundacruz with it for the Panthers. Top of the key. 5-out offense. Stolen away by Spirides. And Spirides is fouled on his layup attempt there by Onyejide. It looked like Spirides was, of two minds there. Not quite sure if he was going to try and step through, wait for Onyejide to go by him, or if he was going to go up strong with it and meet Onyejide at the rim. And it looked like he was on the verge of a travel there, and then might have gotten bailed out a little bit. And Spirides makes the most of that shot attempt from the free throw line, cutting into the Panther lead. Spirides 1 for 2 from the line. Panthers leading by 11. Here's Malenga with it. Might have gotten away with a double dribble there. Onyejide with it on the wing, looking for a backdoor cut to Ty Bell Snyder. Cash Cameron going coast to coast, finishes strong with the left hand. And that REGI lead is now down to single digits. Mundacruz with it, over to Bell Snyder. Bell Snyder driving left hand, kicks it to Barahona Cadet. Barahona Cadet loses the handle, but somehow the ball makes its way back to him. He gets called, actually he's fouled as he'll head to the line for 2 shots. And looks like Barahona Cadet might be experiencing a little bit of cramping as he was getting some assistance from one of his teammates stretching out his calf there. A little bit of a limp still there at the free throw line. Barahona Cadet might still be experiencing a cramp in what looks like his calf. Shots up from there. He hits it. And smartly, Coach Bessling gets a sub into the game for Barahona Cadet. That'll be Josh Romero-Brown, number 2, entering the game for the Panthers. Here's Daniel with it for the Saints. Saints trailing by 10, 28-18. 4 minutes played here in the third quarter, and that's number 7, Alex Castro, of 2 minds, picking the ball up, getting called for travel, dragging that back foot. And this will be a Regi ball on the end line. Here's Munda Cruz. High pick and roll, top of the key with Bell Snyder. Ball makes its way out to Malenga. Back to Snyder now, right-handed drive. Puts up a floater, but well defended by number 14, Spirides. Here's Daniel with it for the Saints. And good call there as Romero-Brown just gets his hands on Evan Daniel as he tries to drive past him on the right side. Both teams accumulating fouls at a pretty even pace here in the third quarter. Regi with 4 and Holy Cross with 3. Ball goes into Cash Cameron. Cameron driving left. Puts up the shot just off the front iron. Can't quite get it to fall. Here's Malenga with the rebound. Malenga's been great on the boards all night so far. Here's Bell Snyder. Bell Snyder with a short jump shot from the elbow gets it to fall. A sweet stroke on that one. Here's Evan Daniel. Jodoin with it on the wing. Inside to Cameron. Cameron driving left hand. Great finish from Cash Cameron. Cash Cameron has been their primary offensive weapon here in this game so far for the Saints. Here's Munda Cruz. Over to Bell Snyder for 3. Off the mark. Jodoin on the rebound, and he gets smothered by Romero-Brown and Munda Cruz. And that's referee Al Benton calling a foul against number 5, Kobe Munda Cruz. And with that, that is the 5th foul of the quarter against the Panthers. That will put the Saints into the penalty here, and they'll head to the line. That'll be number 30, Colton Jodoin, heading to the line for 2 shots. As it stands, Regi leading by 10, 30-20. 3 minutes, 32 seconds still on the clock here in the third quarter. Regi fans making some noise, trying to make life difficult for Colton Jodoin here, trying to distract him a little bit. Jodoin, good on his first. And Jodoin, rock solid from the free throw line, even with the noise from the crowd. Nails both free throws. Once again, cutting the Regi lead down to single digits. Regi leading by just 8 here in the third quarter. Holy Cross still opting, sit off on defense in a half-court man-to-man defense. Regi in a 5-out offense. While Ibrahim Muhammad looking for Logan Downs on the wing, stolen by Evan Daniel, and he can't get it to go. Cash Cameron gets way above the rim on that one. Unfortunately, couldn't quite corral it. He comes down a little hard on the ground, but he bounces right back up as if nothing happened. And this will be a Regi ball inbound on the end line. Cash Cameron showing off the vertical jump there. Easily could have dunked that one if he had grabbed the ball in the air. Here's Logan Downs with it. Over to Ibrahim Muhammad. Sorry, Muhammad Ibrahim. Driving right side, step through. Referee saved. Ball was last touched by the Saints. 6 seconds on the shot clock here. Bell Snyder to inbound. Bell Snyder looking down low for Malenga. Unable to get that one in. Last touch by the Saints. Let's see if the Panthers opt to do something a little bit different here on this one. Del Snyder looking for a cutting Logan Downs on the inbound. Romero Brown somehow finds the ball and gets a shot off. Here's Evan Daniel with it. There's Mark with it on the wing. Chase Redmonds finds Evan Daniel on the perimeter for three. Just off the back iron. And 21, beautiful job by Braylon Mark finding Cash Cameron down low. Cash Cameron has been the man here for the Saints in this game thus far. Del Snyder, he drives left side, met once again by Cameron, who has been an absolute workhorse for the Saints in this game so far. And Cash Cameron has played almost every minute of this game here in not only the first half, but also the third quarter. You wonder how much energy he's going to have left for the fourth quarter, as he has been doing it all here tonight. Score as it stands, 30-24. The smallest lead since the first quarter for the Panthers, as Holy Cross has come out in the second half. Started off a little bit rough, throwing the ball away a couple times to start the third quarter, but really settling in here and doing a great job on the boards, getting second chance opportunities against the Panthers and starting to finish some of those opportunities. 2 minutes, 28 seconds here in the third, still to go. And here we go, back after the timeout. Evan Daniel in the corner for three. That's the offensive set they've been trying to run all night for the Saints. And finally, they're able to get the ball to Daniel in the corner, and he's able to get the open three-pointer off. Del Snyder into Mohamed Ibrahim. Ibrahim looking backdoor to Malenga, and Malenga finishes the play. And that'll be and one for Malenga, as he was fouled by number 10 there. That was Chase Redmond. Just caught looking at the ball a little bit there was Chase Redmond. Malenga with the quickness, going backdoor, getting a beautiful pass from Mohamed Ibrahim. And Malenga misses his first free throw of the night. REGI leading this one 32-24. There's Jodoin over to Mark. Back to Daniel. And a little bit of a skirmish there between Josh Romero Brown and Daniel, but the referee says that one was last touched by the Panthers. This will be Holy Cross to inbound. On the sideline, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Into the game for the Panthers, that's number 10, Barahona Cadet. As Logan Downs heads to the bench for a breather. And terrific job of Braylon Mark looking inside to Cash Cameron, as he had great positioning down low. And Malenga gets a finger to it, tipping that one out of bounds. Here's Daniels down low to inbound. Looking high to the top of the key, here is Mark. Mark down to Cash Cameron. Cameron driving left, looking to kick it out to Mark, but just a little bit of an errant pass there. Here's Mark steering it back, driving left-handed. Squirts away from him. Here's Jodoin with it. Bringing some calm to the Holy Cross offense. Barahona Cadet stepped in front of Cash Cameron there to take a charge, and no call there on that one. As this game suddenly, folks, with 1 minute and 22 seconds here in the third, is the closest it's been, not quite all night, but since the first quarter, as REGI leads this one 32-24. Holy Cross making a substitution here, bringing number 14, Bruce Barides, back in. Chase Redmond heads to the bench, take a breather. And Jodwin at the line for the Saints, shooting 2. Jodwin, despite the noise, buries that free throw. It's almost as if the noise makes him focus a little bit more, as he's been great nailing those free throws in front of a loud REGI crowd here tonight. Monda Cruz looking to push the pace. Barahona Cadet unguarded on the wing, gets his shot off. Cameron with the rebound. Pushing the pace is Cameron. He finds Mark on the wing. Mark driving, floats one up, gets a little bit of a shooter's bounce, and that one counts. There's Monda Cruz. Mohamed Ibrahim, backdoor cut. Barahona Cadet down low. And with a hand on the back, Barahona Cadet is fouled, and he is going to step to the line for 2 shots, as both the Holy Cross Saints and the R&D Panthers are in the bonus here. A little bit of a pause in play as Coach Trevor Weir talks something over with the officials, and the officials are meeting here to discuss something that's going on. And with that, they're going to call the basket good. And you can hear the noise from the crowd, the Holy Cross crowd, unhappy about that call. This will be Barahona Cadet at the line for 1, and he nails that one. REGI leading 35-28, 50 seconds on the clock in the third quarter. Here's Mark on the wing. Mark picks up the dribble. Looking to get the ball to Jodwin. Jodwin comes away with it. Looking to kick the ball out to Mark was Jodwin, and a little bit of a flurry there on the court. No one quite able to corral it. And foul called on the floor. Little bit of, it looks like Coach Besselink on the bench there, unhappy about that one. A little bit of a bailout call is what it seems. But that'll send Evan Daniel to the line. See if he can cut into this REGI lead. And Daniel is good on his first. Panthers leading by just 6 here. Daniel second off the mark. Tybell Snyder with the rebound. Malenga on the wing. Malenga looking to drive left, spins out, finds an open Bell Snyder for 3. Just off the mark, but Monda Cruz was able to find some work down low, get his hand on the ball, and force a jump ball. This possession will stick with the Panthers, as they'll get an end line inbound with 14 seconds on the clock. 16 seconds on the game clock, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Barahona Cadet into Mohamed Ibrahim, drives right, finds Tybell Snyder, keeps the ball up to get a shot off. A little bit too strong there. 10 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is turned off. Barahona Cadet inbounding to Malenga. Malenga drives left, gets one off the glass. A little bit too strong there. There's Spirides on the rebound. Evan Daniel not able to handle it. And as that ball rolls out of bounds, time expires here in the third quarter. And with that, REGI leads heading into this final frame, 35-29. For those at home who are just tuning in who may have missed the introduction at the beginning of the game, this is the 2026 Memorial Basketball game. The game began 37 years ago as the memorial was established by Paul Halligan, who was at the time a football and basketball coach at REGI. Paul created the memorial for the two schools, Holy Cross and REGI, to come together in competition while raising money and awareness for cancer research. Paul founded the games in honor of his friend Peter Carty, who was a friend and classmate who had passed away from a rare form of cancer at the age of 23. 13 years later, Paul Halligan was taken by the same cancer and took his friend years prior. Both men dedicated time to help out within the school communities, and the memorial is a tribute to both of them. Thank you so much for watching online and to those who are attending in person, and thank you for supporting the fight against cancer. To date, this event has raised $460,000, which has been donated to research and treatment of this devastating disease. In recent years, we have begun to allocate many of these funds to families from our school communities where they are in the middle of their own journey with cancer. Much has been done in this battle, but we must continue to fight. And with that, folks, both teams break the huddle to begin this final frame of basketball here in the 2026 junior edition of the Memorial Basketball game. With a ruckus REGI crowd cheering their team on. This will be REGI inbound on the sideline. This is Munda Cruz to Malenga. The Barahona Cadet looking to drive middle. Barahona Cadet forces one up. Just off the mark, Bell Snyder looking to throw that one off, a Holy Cross defender out of bounds. Holy Cross going long to Jodwin. And Munda Cruz gets his hands to the ball, stealing that one away. Evan Daniel applying some full court man-to-man pressure. Holy Cross fans making a little bit of noise as they think there should have been an illegal screen call there. Here's Barahona Cadet. Malenga looking to work. There's Anya Jide. He puts up a long two, just off the front iron. Off the mark. Mark pushing the ball to Jodwin. Jodwin picking it. Jodwin picking that one up a little early, getting into the chest of Munda Cruz, and still finding a way to finish that tough shot. And would you look at that, folks, with 6 minutes, 52 seconds on the clock, the Panthers lead by just 4 here in this one. Malenga's shot long. Here's Daniel with it for the Saints. Ball goes out to Mark. Stolen away by Munda Cruz. He's done a fantastic job of getting his hands on the ball when it's been exposed by the Holy Cross ball handler. Here's Bell Snyder over to Anya Jide. Bell Snyder takes a look at the rim. Opts to give it to Malenga. Munda Cruz driving right. Anya Jide, top of the key. Malenga from about 2 feet behind the three-point line. His shot long. Here's Jodwin. Jodwin driving left, pump fake. Here's Daniel, puts up a deep three. Hits the front iron. He needed to step in about a foot to get that one to fall with the same weight. There's Munda Cruz. Malenga, palm at the top of the key, looking down low to a well-positioned Bell Snyder. And Bell Snyder forces one up through contact, and he gets a call from referee Al Benton. And that will be the key here late in this one, folks, as the game is starting to tighten up a little bit. REGI leading 35-31. 5 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. This is the closest it's been since the beginning of the game. And it's going to be crucial that you continue to stay aggressive and go inside, not settling for long shots that might not fall when your legs are tired here in the fourth quarter. Here's Bell Snyder at the line for the Panthers. by the Saints. Bell Snyder was given his first shot back, and he hits that one. Snyder hits both. Clutch shooting from Snyder there. 2-score game, Panthers by 6. Ball goes inside, that's Spirides. And that is one of the stories here tonight, folks. Has just been, I'm not sure if the ball's a little bit wet, a little bit slippery, or if, you know, the players are just so excited for the game that their hands are covered in sweat. But the ball looks like it's been a little bit slippery here tonight as it slipped out of a lot of these players' hands all night. Here's Malenga over to Barahona Cadet. Driving left, Barahona Cadet goes up strong. And that's exactly what you want to see in a close game in the fourth quarter. You don't want your team to get complacent. You don't want your team to settle for long shots when your legs are tired. You want them to stay aggressive, attack, and get into the paint. You want to have the foul situation in your favor, which is exactly what REGI has done here, as the Saints have tallied 2 fouls, and REGI has picked up none here to start the fourth quarter. This is Barahona Cadet at the free throw line. He gets the first, and it looks like that calf cramp is still bugging him a little bit. If he hits this shot, he'll get the opportunity. It looks like Coach Bestlink is sending Josh Romero-Brown, and if he hits this shot, they'll get the opportunity to sub here. And unfortunately, the ball stays in, and Barahona Cadet is going to have to suffer through his calf cramp for a little while longer. That shot's up with the left hand. Beautiful finish by Jernenko. He's done that a few times here tonight, folks. Mondeco's driving right, working against Daniel. Gets the ball out to Bell Snyder. Back to Bell Snyder, working a little bit of a 2-man game with Mondeco's. Good spin by Bell Snyder into the contact. A little bit too strong. That's one that Ty is definitely going to want back. Ball goes down low. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong shot a little off the mark. Spirides down low follows it up, and he is fouled on his way up to the rim. That foul called against number 22. That's on Yajide. At the line for the Saints. Once again, hitting the free throw in front of a ruckus REGI crowd here tonight. Spirides hits both. And Coach Bestlink sends, or gives the opportunity for Barahona Cadet to come off and rest his calf a little bit. Ibrahim enters the game. Here's Malenga on the wing. Cash Cameron sitting off of him a little bit. There's Ibrahim top of the key for 3. Back iron. Onyejide on the follow-up. Onyejide kicks the ball out. Bell Snyder for 3. Finds the right side of the iron. Cameron with the ball, but he's swarmed by 3 Panther defenders. Malenga spinning, looking to put up the left-handed layup. And he sends that one a little bit long. Here's Armstrong down low to Cameron. And if you are Coach Trevor Weir, if you're Adam Jeffries, if you're the Holy Cross Saints, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to stay aggressive here. This is a 3-point game, 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. You've been trailing all game. What's been most effective for you has been going down low to Cash Cameron. You need to find creative ways of getting the ball into Cameron and letting him operate down low. And if you're REGI, you need to do a better job of making sure that Cash Cameron does not get good positioning down low. Force him out to the wing. Okay? Send 2 as soon as he gets the ball. Defend him tightly. And here's Cameron at the line. He hits his first 2-point game. with what looked to be an unintentional bank off the glass in on that free throw, but gets it to fall. And suddenly, folks, for those of you watching at home right now, it's a 1-point game with 4 minutes and 3 seconds here to go in the fourth quarter. Holy Cross has been behind essentially all game. And just in this last quarter and a half, about halfway through the third quarter, they really started to make the most of this game here, playing in front of a sold-out crowd, doing a terrific job. Okay. They've steadied themselves a little bit. They had a hard time in the early going there against the full court press, especially with their younger ball handlers there against Regi's full court press. They were forced into a few bad turnovers early to start the game, which really opened the game up for the Panthers. But since then, they've steadily clawed their way back into this one, making this a really close game. As the Panthers lead by just 1 point here, 4 minutes, 3 seconds to go on the clock. Both teams staying aggressive here in the fourth quarter, which has really tightened things up. Bell Snyder inbounding. This is Munda Cruz with it for the Panthers. Malenga calling for the ball in the high post, but can't handle the pass from Munda Cruz. Cameron looking up for it for Evan Daniel. And that ball off of a Panther foot out of bounds. It'll be Saints ball to inbound on the end line. Barahona Cadet coming back into the game. Mohamed Ibrahim taking a seat. Evan Daniel inbounding for the Saints, kicks it out to the wing. Armstrong over to Jernenko. Here's Armstrong for three. Ball rebounded by Onyejide down low. Onyejide bringing it up himself. Gives the ball to Barahona Cadet. Here's Munda Cruz, defended by Daniel. Crossover, Munda Cruz, cross-court pass, ill-advised, stolen by Spirides. And with that, you can hear the crowd from Holy Cross making a ton of noise as their team has just taken a lead for the first time in the game here tonight. 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go. Bell Snyder spinning to get that shot off. A little bit strong off the mark. Here's Daniel. Panthers trailing for the first time here tonight. Let's see what they can do. Barahona Cadet looking to close out on Jernenko. Jernenko gets one up with the left hand. Off the mark. That was Spirides down low on the rebound. And the ball was knocked out of his hands by what looked like number 10, Barahona Cadet, who's been a menace on defense here tonight. Spirides inbound. Stolen away by Malenga. Malenga looking up court. Stolen back by Cameron. Beautiful job by the Saints there. Here's Daniel with it. Right hand floater over the defender. He gets the ball to go. 41-38, 2 minutes, 36 seconds to go here in the 2026 edition of the Memorial Game. Panthers with the ball, 12 seconds on the shot clock. That's a beautiful right-handed drive by Onyejide. Great finish off the glass. 1 point game, Saints leading. Here's Daniel with it. Over to Jernenko. Deep in the corner. Here's Daniel. Looking for the step back three is Daniel. Ambitious shot there. And Cameron down low follows that rebound up, but can't get it to fall. Here's Malenga. Malenga looking to drive. Attacking Cameron one-on-one. Goes up strong. No call on the play. Well defended by Cameron. Here's Daniel. 41-40. Saints lead by 1. Minute 45. Jernenko with it now for the Saints. Here's Daniel. Daniel. Off the mark. Spirides on the rebound. And Spirides with the soft touch gets that one to go. Here's Onyejide. Cross-court pass to Malenga. Barahona Cadet driving right side through some contact. and he's fouled. And Barahona Cadet once again goes down, grabbing his left calf. It looks like he's been struggling with cramps all game. And Barahona Cadet, he'll step to the line for 2 shots as the Panthers trail by 3. Panthers leading in this one almost all game until about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. And Barahona Cadet will gingerly limp off the court as Logan Downs will substitute in for him to shoot these next 2 free throw shots. Both teams have done a great job of staying aggressive here in the 4th quarter. Difficult spot for Logan Downs to come in cold off the bench and have to shoot 2 free throws. As his first one hits the back iron. Logan Downs makes a small adjustment there to bury that second shot, cutting that Holy Cross lead to just 2 points. And with that, Coach Trevor Weir of the Saints calls a timeout to talk things over. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Saints leading by 2.
At that time, I'll invite people to come out and take pictures when we're all set up for that.
Panthers, in this one, went to a little bit of a 5-out offense, really spreading the defense out for the Saints, and it was great, opening up a lot of backdoor cut opportunities, but also led to some pretty ambitious cross-court passes, which led to some interceptions, and then some fast break opportunities going the other way for the Saints in the second half. That was one of the primary momentum builders here in the second half for the Saints, as well as just the hard work of Cash Cameron down low, doing seemingly everything here tonight for the Saints, scoring, rebounding, leading the team energy-wise, defending down low, doing a great job of being a good physical presence down low. REGI, though, looking to respond here with 1 minute and 15 to go, trailing by just 1 basket, 1-score game. Folks, this is nothing short of a fantastic game, and as we talked about at the start of the game, this is exactly what you expect between REGI and Holy Cross, as last year's edition of this junior basketball Memorial game was much the same, with a nail-biter finish and a 4-point play opportunity to end the game with 10 seconds by TJ Mayuga, which led to a Regiopolis Notre Dame victory last year. Holy Cross looking to answer back here in this one. That's Malenga's shot up and off the mark. Here's Ibrahim Muhammad. And that was Logan Downs driving right side. He's heading to the line for a shot here. With 38 seconds to go, here is Mundacruz with the ball. Barahona Cadet lines up a 3. Off the mark, 27 seconds to go. Panthers trailing by 2. Here's Daniel with it. Met with some stout full court defense by Mundacruz. Coach Besselink urging her players on to get up into the faces of the Holy Cross players with the ball. And 16 5 seconds here on the clock, folks. Timeout called on the floor. If you are the Panthers, you need to find a way to score. What do you do? This is what Coach Bestelink will be talking about with her players here. Who do you go to? Do you try to get the ball to Tybell Snyder, attacking, driving to the basket, who's been great finishing all game? Do you kick the ball out to Malenga, who's hit a couple perimeter shots here and done a great job? Or if you're the Saints and you're Coach Trevor Weir, you have to be consistent, you have to be steady, you have to be calm, you have to not foul on any three-point attempts, similar to what happened last year at the end of this game. Okay, you also don't want to foul anybody in the lane coming to the net. So lots to think about if you're a junior player here in a 2-point game in front of a packed crowd. On the court to finish this one out for the Panthers, that'll be Barahona Cadet, Bell Snyder, Malenga, Munda Cruz, and Mohamed Ibrahim. It'll be Daniel to inbound for the Saints, Cash Cameron, Mark Spirides, Armstrong, and Jernenko on the court for the Saints. Spirides inbounding. Over to Jernenko. Jernenko smartly steps out, defended by Kobe Munda Cruz. And Barahona Cadet comes over, gets the foul. Okay, maybe a couple seconds earlier, Munda Cruz would have had the opportunity to foul. They would have been sending Holy Cross to the line with maybe an extra 2 seconds there. But this will be Jernenko. Ryder Jernenko stepping the line for some pressure-filled free throws with the opportunity to extend the lead to 2 scores. Just off the mark on the first. Saints leading by 2. A make here would be huge. Would force the Panthers into a 3-point attempt on the other end. Off the mark, but Spirides gets the rebound, kicks it out to Jernenko. Jernenko to Daniels, moving it over to Armstrong. And with 5 seconds on the clock, Armstrong is fouled. The Panthers not out of this one yet. Still 5 seconds to go. But these are 2 of the biggest free throws that Thomas Armstrong will have shot in his early basketball career. Directly in front of a raucous REGI crowd who will likely make a lot of noise and try and make life difficult for Thomas Armstrong here. Armstrong. Calm, cool, and collected under pressure here. He nails the first one. If he makes this one, he'll extend it to a 2-point game. Second shot, rebounded by Cameron. And last touch by Anyajide out of bounds. This ball will stay with the Holy Cross Saints. 4.4 seconds on the clock here in this one. Spirides, top of the key, into Jernenko, and he's smartly and quickly fouled by Munda Cruz. Holy Cross leading by 3, 3.2 seconds left to go here in this one. Panthers not out of it yet, but with these 2 free throws, the Saints have the opportunity to really apply some pressure here and extend it to a 2-score game. Jernenko's first is just off the mark, needing this one to really almost seal the game away for the Saints. Let's see if he can finish. Jernenko shot off the mark. Panthers come away with it. Here's Barahona Cadet, puts up a shot for 3. Oh, and just off the back iron, he gets the shot off. And just misses that one. What a fantastic ending to this one here in the Junior Basketball 2026 edition of the Memorial Game. This junior basketball matchup has been nothing short of spectacular the last 2 years, both ending in, last year's ending in a buzzer beater, 4-point play opportunity. This year's ending in what what was nearly a buzzer beater opportunity from the three-point line from Barahona Cadet. Some great basketball being played on both sides from both teams. Trevor Weir and his squad coming away with the victory in this one, trailing almost all game. And winning this one here late in the fourth quarter. Fantastic effort from both teams, folks. Folks, if you're at home, you're still looking for something to do, you're interested in watching some more fantastic basketball, stick around because in about at 7:30, so in about 15 minutes, the senior boys will be kicking off for their version of the 2026 Memorial Game. And with that, folks, I bid you farewell. Stay tuned. Come back to the live stream in about 15 minutes when the seniors are tipping off then.